Shabbat Shalom. How is everybody? I am really good. I've had a lovely little day off. I've been just writing and creating and catching up on content sharing all day. So I feel really good. I have got my little errands done for the day, and I've got some time to just sit and chill in my backyard and enjoy the last little bit of sunlight for the day. So I thought I would make our video out here and you could enjoy it with me. Yes, hello. I've been a little bit erratic lately. I've just had some, for me, summertime, that was the same way it was on the channel last year. It was like summertime. There's just things that come up, opportunities that you don't get, at other times of year, just to go out and do like nature adventures and things like that. And that's what I'm all about. That's what I live for. And that's the whole reason I'm trying to do this channel, so I can have more freedom and flexibility within my own schedule. So yeah, I know some people are gonna get hard on themselves about it, but I like to just, I don't know, give myself a day off every now and then and not feel bad about it, because I think that part of the burnout, coming from this hustle culture is this relentlessness to never allow the self to nurture other parts of the self, So all work and no play makes Jane a dull girl. So I had a little bit of play, so it's been fun. So the energy for the weekend, as usual, is pretty reflective. But I think that what we're realizing, and I like that the overall message is sort of addressing this transformation, this evolution that we're going through. And it's like we're starting to come online, like little by little by little. Like, recently we were talking about Mission Control getting ready to launch a shuttle. It's not just turn on the car and pump the gas. For this kind of launch, it takes, turning on different systems that govern different things in the whole functionality of the vessel, right? So this year, it's all about, we're on that launch pad at Mission Control. And every time Mission Control turns on one of the systems, that's like sort of month by month. It's these initiations that we're going through, where we're coming up against, life experiences, not even necessarily challenges, right? Sometimes good things, sometimes good things can stretch us and challenge us as well. And so, yeah, whether it be good, bad, or the ugly, all the colors of the rainbow, so to speak, and every shade of gray in between, it's just about showing up in our life right now in this way that gives you enough space and time to notice the first initial reactive trigger that would be prompted by the default settings of the old patterning. And then it gives yourself time to pause, witness that, see how it's connected to the behavior that you want to do, follow that back, ask why, where is this originally coming from? What do I think, this is going to help, or how does this usually hold me back? Or, what is my belief around this? Or what is it really, And then you can choose with your free will, okay, well, how do I want to proactively show up in my life now? As the person that I want to become, and the person, that I have to be in order to create the life that I want to build for myself, right? Or, the kind of experience that I want to have on a day-to-day basis. We can get hung up on the physical sometimes. One of the most productive and helpful things I ever learned was from Danielle Laporte. She's a thought leader and a content creator and just a creative and an artist and a spiritual sharer. But one of her things that was prominent in her day planners, they were like a journal/day planner, was that every day it was centered around your core desired feelings. And this played into another workshop that she had called the Desire Map, where you could figure out like what it is you were kind of supposed to be doing, or what it is that you want to do next, as it pertains to sort of like putting purpose into career. And so the core principles around that were figuring out your core desired feelings. And that's very ethereal. It's not very material. but it helps you make material decisions when you can weigh them against, okay, well, what are my core desired feelings? You know, this plays into To Be Magnetic has a workshop called Authentic Code. So you find your authentic code, which is the core qualities about yourself that you need in life, or that you have these needs for, or that you know, these principles that you want present in your life. And so that you make your decisions around those things that are the most important to you. If you are curious about To Be Magnetic, unfortunately, Danielle Laporte discontinued that program. It was the one particular part that I took was called Firestarter Sessions. It was the coolest. I don't think that it's available now anymore, and I don't know whether even I had like an iTunes playlist of it downloaded when I bought it, but super helpful. But now, like, the Authentic Code workshop in To Be Magnetic is pretty similar. But if you are interested in To Be Magnetic, which is a membership program that I am a member of, and they have a podcast that's free. It's called Expanded, and the company's To Be Magnetic, and you can find them on Instagram and stuff, and you can listen to the podcast and get a lot out of that too. But if it is something that you're interested in, I have a link to an affiliation program, and I'm an affiliate of it, and I swear to God, I've manifested this because I've been saying I should be an affiliate for the last year on like every video, and then they started an affiliate program, and I signed up. So if you want to join, you can. My video description below. But yeah, it's just really good to get clear on your core authentic base needs, and like kind of like who you are and what you want out of life. And you can kind of narrow that down to a few keywords that kind of make it easy to remember. So yeah, so I think that this reading is really sort of addressing where we're at now and giving us kind of a little bit of a pep talk. So the first card is a little extreme, and it's a little misreading, but it's extremism. This is Mercury in Capricorn, or no, Mercury in Scorpio. So this is Mercury in Scorpio. The card is extremism. I love the depiction. It's like, woman, listen. But really, it's not as heavy as all that. And I'm gonna read the cards, but I'm just gonna show them to you first. First is the extremism card, which was Mercury in Scorpio, followed by Mercury in Capricorn, which is organization, followed by the moon in Gemini, which is adaptability, and then underneath extremism we had the Fool. Underneath organization we've got the Devil card. Underneath adaptability we got 10 of Wands. And the overall grand finale result is the Empress. So I think all good things. And so let's unpack. I know some of these cards are like, you're like, are these good things? Yeah, I think they are. Okay. So I think what I'll do is I'll read the Radiant Sun Oracle cards, so it gives you a basis of the general overall meaning and impressions of the card, and then we'll tie in to the tarot, and I think it'll make more sense to you than if I just start talking. Alright. Okay. Extremism. Mercury in Scorpio. Change, self-control, regeneration. A dramatic Penny Dreadful style illustration of a struggling couple, man and woman, fighting over the contents of a letter. The words have changed everything. A crow shrieks at the scene. Personal message. The Mercury in Scorpio card describes a deep, penetrating thinker, someone both intuitive and profound, whose sharp insights into others' motivation direct the thoughts. Such personalities are widely persuasive in argument. Typically, Mercury Scorpions are said to be secretive and do not waste time talking unless they have something worthwhile to say. They command a great deal of respect and are endowed with a magnetic personality that claims many followers. The ability to go to an extreme opposite position in order to understand the whole possibility of an issue makes such people good investigators and researchers. So like they can put themselves in, like, instead of like as a cop, they can put themselves in the murderer's shoes and like see it from their side of the street, or like see it from the other person's perspective and be able to mediate. It also makes them capable of drastic changes of philosophy or beliefs, which can leave others up in the air with the last swing of opinion. For Mercury Scorpios, the supreme challenge is to solve seemingly impossible problems. The challenge of the impossible is so necessary that they often generate mishaps in order to retrieve and overcome a situation. People with this combination display great interest in science and or the occult. Understanding life's secrets, whether purely physical or mystical, is important to them. There is also a love of intrigue that makes for good detective story writers, journalists, sleuths, and crime investigators. When this card is drawn, the questioner may face a total reappraisal of his or her life philosophy to overcome a seemingly unsolvable situation. A violent verbal outburst, news of death, the solving of a great problem, discussion of a deep life problem, a drastic change of opinion. All right. So I love that this is over. I'm just going to stop and pause for a second and talk about this as it pertains to the Fool. So the Fool is setting out on this new journey, this new cycle. For us, collectively, this new cycle is beginning. It is finally at hand. This whole year has sort of been, like we were talking about, launching us, getting ready to launch, turning on, systems go. And so the Fool has been with us all week so far, really, and been ushering us onto this new path and this new journey. And it seems like, you know, there's going to be some initial sort of challenges and puzzles to solve as we set out, just like you would think, you know, on the hero's journey into the forest. Here we go, not long before something like twists the plot and turn things upside down. So now it's like as if we're at that plot point 1 that sort of launches how the story is going to go. So, or, you know, it kind of launches us into the plot. It's like at the beginning of the movie, after the introduction has kind of settled in and you've introduced like the characters, then there's like some kind of little inciting incident that sort of turns everything upside down, which launches the characters into the second act, which is the dealing with the issue or going on the adventure or whatever, what have you. You know, going on the outer journey that lends itself to the inner journey, right? So yeah, with the beginning of this journey, we might start off actually having to really think deeply about things and, you know, look outside of the box or be able to see different sides of something or be kind of flexible or, you know, quick in the way that we, you know, see all sides of it. And it seems like the part about the being able to like suddenly have an epiphany about life philosophy or a change of mind or heart about something is kind of prominent because the other cards that follow kind of support that, which was the organization and adaptability. You know, with the Ten of Wands, it's like overcoming a difficult pattern. So we're on this Fool's journey to set out now. And so the best way that the Fool is like basically like the newborn, the born again person. The born again Christian, so to speak, as Jesus would have put it, you know, purified of the consciousness of before. So we reawaken with the innocence of a baby, open to possibility and trust in the Creator, trust in life, because it's like almost like we have no choice, right? We don't have control. So that's the Fool. The Fool's realization is like, lest the Lord keep my house, my labor is in vain. Like, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And the Fool's on the edge, like walking happily, like unencumbered, like, you know, small knapsack, not bringing, you know, a lot of baggage and burdens and fears and limiting beliefs and old patterns, right? Our old patterns, which, you know, when we get into a comfort mode, like we revert back into a default setting when we're triggered and reactive. So the Fool is trying to overcome going forward without the baggage of those limiting beliefs of the past, or those, you know, fearful, foreboding joy kind of expectations of like everything's like ultimate demise. So it's a change of heart, but also being able to like think deeply about something and maybe even influence the situation, or, you know, have be an impactful person in the way that you direct your energy and intention, I guess. So organization came up, and I'm like losing light out here. I might have to turn on my porch light. Organization, Mercury in Capricorn, change, duty, and perseverance. The farm scene may seem to depict the simple life, but only a rigid routine and application of duty enables the tangible fruits of the labors to be achieved. Personal Mercury Capricornians are shrewd, practical, organized, and ambitious. There's always a method in the air, there's always a method in their thought processes, and their instinctive ability to take things one step at a time makes for few pitfalls on the road to achieving ambitions. Such types always take a realistic approach to goals and, rarely fooled by idealistic claptrap, opt for a slow but sure route rather than a fast lane. Such conscientious and patient approach to organization needs to be balanced with a sense of humor. We all know the consequences of all work and no play. Despite this personality's type's severe-sounding nature, humor is a common trait, and many comedians have this planet sign placement. The Mercury Capricorn type is prepared to spend time on education to achieve more professionally and considers planning this very important. People with this combination communicate well with the public. They could be successful and find recognition in politics and social or community work. Just as Mercury Capricornians require recognition and achievement, they also respect authority. Often this admiration, coupled with a desire to see tangible outcomes, can be taken to extremes and involve name dropping and the cultivation of the company of influential people to enhance personal prestige. When this card is drawn, it indicates that hard, conscientious work is required in order to achieve long-term aims or solve an immediate problem. Events, a need for extreme patience, discussion about discipline and control, taking a position of responsibility, working with someone famous. So yes, so this came paired over the Devil card. And so this tells me that it's all about being able to get organized and disciplined to overcome adversity. This is also the Capricorn card ruled by Saturn. And so this is about showing up and persevering to overcome the self-defeating tendencies. The Devil card holds loose chains over the lovers. I love the lighting right now. It actually looks like the actual shadow that they're in. But the masculine looks like the feminine. It's almost as if he's saying, like, we can get out of this. Like, I know the way out. Like, this is nothing. This is just an illusion. It's not actually a trap. The only trap is the illusion of being trapped. So don't panic or don't feel like you are overwhelmed, because right now the universe is telling you, like, you have everything capable, like, of overcoming any situation or challenge right now. Right now it's about mastering the balance of divine feminine and masculine energies. The divine feminine of receiving that divine inspiration, and the divine masculine of taking action towards that goal and plan. But it's gonna take steadfastness. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take discipline, and it's going to take being able to see through illusion. Then we have, so overcoming the adversary right now, overcoming our old burdensome patterns. The Ten of Wands is all about overcoming and breaking old patterns, overcoming difficult cycles, the end of a difficult cycle, or something that has given all it can and just has nothing left. And so now to stay in it, it's just breaking down the situation, right? This person is tattered and like burdened by their heavysome burden, right? So adaptability. The moon in Gemini. Moon, security, mental awareness. Mercury in Capricorn. I think, did I say, I think I just thought it was Gemini because it's Mercury back to back. Okay, so moon in, a lot of Gemini, Mercury energy. Okay, so moon in Gemini, security, mental awareness. Two strangers perform. Above, a four-armed figure holds a sun moon, a dove, a growing shrub, and a flower. He stands on the back of another man, balancing an ankh on his foot. Beneath, a boat is supported by four replicas of the magician's ape of Thoth. Personal. The moon Gemini personality rationalizes emotion, and his or her need to talk and explore the whys and wherefores of feeling can make for an expensive phone bill. Early childhood memories will, to a large extent, condition the current thoughts and ideas of people with this planet sign combination. Moon Geminians, I can't say that word, have an intensely strong imagination and a sense of fantasy coupled with a very good memory. Restless curiosity keeps this personality type constantly on the move, avoiding monotony at all costs. Spontaneous quick-wittedness and an ability to come up with the right answer most of the time is tiring. Come up with the right answer most of the time is tiring, though, and nerves always suffer. Oh, this is tiring though, and nerves always suffer. The negative aspect of this placing of the moon is a tendency toward nervous troubles and fidgety feet. Too many ideas and concerns running around inside the head, and at the same time is no way to solve problems. So we get our mind focused and empty of all the noise and the static. The person the adaptability card describes may even forget what he or she felt in the first place. The need to talk everything out, although of prime importance, must also be balanced with periods of mental relaxation. When this card is drawn, close relatives, brothers, and sisters will be prominent in the life of the questioner and will always be a part of the response. Negatively, the adaptability card indicates a period of fidgeting during which it will be almost impossible to relax. Events, important discussions with relations, taking examinations, confused thinking, information changes, secretive comments, laying one's cards on the table. So yeah, it's like it talked about going through the depths of the childhood memories, and it's like these are those subconscious patterns, right, from our childhood traumas, wounds, and programming that are coming up right now to be addressed, so that as we go forth in this new cycle, we don't have to keep doing the same things and keep repeating the same patterns and continuing on the same storylines, right? But we can't change until we recognize them completely and bypass them enough times to where they're not just like automatically like playing out without us even noticing, right? So it's just becoming more aware and choosing differently to break the pattern, to break the habit. And ultimately, if we can put the awareness and the presence and the effort in, the Empress is here in the end. And so the Empress is the successful integration of the divine masculine and feminine energies to produce. You know, the Emperor is all about the structure and the organization and the taking authority and the leadership, but the divine feminine is about receiving, you know, in a luxurious, relaxed fashion, and building beauty and abundance and luxury and having that connection with divine and being in that state of, you know, receiving and supportedness and fertile creativity, and surrounded with the fruits of her efforts. She's always depicted around some kind of fertility behind her, whether it be wheat or forest or plants. You know, there's always abundance. So there's abundance and satisfaction and fulfillment at hand. It's just going to take effort and determination to go out on this new journey and overcome the patterns of the past, the adversary is always going to show up on the path, right? The hero goes out on the journey, and it's not too long before, whoop, here comes the adversary. How is the adversary going to be disguised this time, right? There are friends and foes and thieves and kings and paupers and princes along the path, and rarely do they look the part. So that's the challenge. That's the journey, is to learn how to discern those, right? Part of it anyway. All right, y'all. I'm burning daylight out here, as you can see. I'm going to get a little glass of wine going, I think. Ciao.